Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, 2019. If you are watching the VOD on YouTube, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter at Otaku Showboat, visit my website at otakushowboat.com, become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat, and join my Discord as well to take part in the growing community. The link is in the description. If you are watching live on Twitch, you can just type in !Discord to get an invite link there. You can also help support Pyanodon's development at patreon.com/Pyanodon. I am quite sore today. I am in pain. Like actual soreness pain today. Because yesterday I had the absolute pleasure of being the one that actually was fixing our kitchen faucet. For a couple of days, the kitchen faucet just was not getting water pressure at all. It like suddenly stopped producing water. The water flow and pressure just sank to basically nothing, near nothing. And we didn't know why, because none of the other faucets in the entire house were like that. Nothing lost pressure besides just the sink. So we had to troubleshoot what the problem was, start taking the faucet apart, and then once we finally figured it out, had to fiddle with it, I guess is the best way to put it. There's this it ended up being, because our faucet is sort of this like all-in-one with one device handle that determines whether you're hot and cold, so it's only one handle to determine hot and cold, and then the actual faucet itself pulls out and has a sprayer hose, so it's a combination faucet sprayer hose. And the sprayer hose part of it was what was backing up / not letting the water flow right through. And it stemmed from this little plastic piece, this little quote-unquote quick connect piece that just wasn't letting the water through. It seems as if there's this little tiny one-way valve that is in that little quick connect piece that got clogged with something, some sort of particulate in the water built up over time and sort of just clogged it. Or just some random little speck got in the wrong spot in that little tiny one-way valve that was in that quick connect. So first figuring out how to remove the quick connect and then figuring out how to put it back on was a mission, and also having to do all of this under the sink itself ended up being quite hard on my back when I was the one that was under there doing these things. But once I got that thing detached and it was cleaned and put back on, suddenly the water pressure came back. So yeah, that worked. Saved the household well over $100 instead of having a actual plumber come out. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. But I am paying for it in that I am quite sore today. So yeah, that's what's like gone on in the outside of the stream stuff. Let's talk a bit about the stream stuff. Hello, Ave. I was just saying how sore I was from having to fix the kitchen faucet yesterday out here. Had some problems with the flow rate and yeah, figured it out, but really sore. Yeah, I was having lots of fun yesterday. So, I want to talk a bit about the coming release of Pokemon Sword and Shield and what that's going to do with the stream. So I want to stream Sword or Shield. Uh, A, first things first, I need to know what people would prefer in terms of which version as well as which starter to use. Yes, good morning from the West Coast, Jessa. Hi. I'm on East Coast, so yeah, hope you enjoyed your hour of sleep from the time change that we just had in the US. That extra hour is quite nice when we get it. I think now we are paired up with the rest of the world finally. So there's that. But yeah, so on Discord, I have a couple of straw polls to get responses to. One is sword or shield, and then the other is like, what should the starter be? Oh, you have your own built-in clock. Yeah, I woke up at like 5 till 6 this morning, which would have been just before my normal alarm at 7. And then I basically just was off and on tossing turning for that extra hour until I got up. So, yeah, that tends to happen at this time of year. Anyway, so yeah, I want to know whether or not to play or which to play of sword or shield, and then what the starter should be, and then I need to note that these games release on the 15th of November, so it's already coming up, a little less than 2 weeks away before they release. The current plan was that these games, whichever version I end up playing, would preempt all of the content of streaming until I beat whatever version, basically. So at minimum, the week of the 17th. So 2 weeks from today, for that week of streaming, would be Pokemon Sword or Shield. However, I have decided that, well, that's only that way because I need to, earn a living, and I can't stream more during that week to sort of have like this event type thing of playing through this new release. So I've decided that, you know what, if within these next 2 weeks we can accrue like $100 through any means, set like a fundraising goal of like $100 through any means, Patreon, Twitch subs, cheers, direct tips, any of that sort of stuff that I would not preempt, but would have additional streams for playing Sword or Shield. So that's what I've decided. So if you would like to see that, we've got 2 weeks before I have to, like, in the moment make a decision as to what we're doing. So first stream would be on the 17th. So just let me know thoughts, comments, suggestions, which version to play, which starter to use, all that. Please do it in Discord. Please do it in Discord. You can do !Discord in the Twitch chat to join my Discord server, and you, of course, can find the link in the description below if you are watching this video on YouTube. Today's Pyanodons tutorial that will go live later today will be Circuit 2s and Blue Science. Circuit 2s and Blue Science goes live today. And I'm going to take about a week off to sort of organize what the hell I need to do now. What comes next? I haven't really decided what the order should be of the tutorials that need to come next. And I need to decide what that order should be, as well as record what videos those should be. And I just wanted to, I think this is a good spot to take a short break on the tutorial side of things. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take about a week off on the release of the Pi tutorials as I gather my thoughts and make some decisions going forward as to what we're going to do. I just don't know how relevant many of the coming tutorials would really be to most people. That's the main concern at this point. It's like, well, we got to Circuit 2s. It's going to take a while of that becoming like a norm that people are at to then, have an audience to watch the tutorials for processes that you don't need to do until after Circuit 2s. So, yeah, that's definitely also in my considerations going forward. That's definitely also in the considerations going forward. Hello, Immortal Sniper. So, yeah, it's like, well, A, what would be the next things to do exactly? B, would they even be watched by people? So, and then, yeah, C, Pi Alien Life will be coming rather soon. And we've got King Arthur slowly but surely doing rebalances on the ore processing stuff that will eventually come out. That will require redoing some tutorials. And Pi Alien Life itself will require redoing, at the very least, the science parts thus far, the science parts of the tutorial series. What rebalancing? Go and look in the Pi Raw Ores commits, but it's in a different branch. So it's in a different branch. He is pushing commits in Pyro on a separate branch. So I will bring this up on my end so that I can have a look. No, not that link. How do you do that? I'm about to tell you. So go into the Pyro Ores GitHub and right up as you hit the commits button to have a look at all the commits, there's a little drop down right under the tab that says code. There's a drop down that says branch master. The branch is King Modified Pyro. So there's a drop down on the commits page to choose what branch. Right at the top, right above the first commit, just go to the King Modified Pyro, and that will show you that King Arthur's been doing a few things to, like, iron and chrome, tin, zinc, nexlit, lead, and titaniums, and apparently most of the rest of Pyro. Now, Pyanodon said that this is going to potentially be like an option that you set in your startup settings or something like that for a rebalanced pyro, but I don't know if that was the intention by King Arthur, or if this is going to just be what pyro is going forward. But yeah, there's going to be adjustments made with that / new stuff available in terms of pyro ore processing of various things. Also, I noticed that the work has started on the Mark II through 4 building variants for Pi High Tech buildings by King Arthur. So that work has begun on the new Mark II through 4 variants of Pi High Tech buildings. So that's something to look forward to. Another thing to look forward to. Yesterday, I had a very in-depth conversation about techs on the Pyanodon community Discord. You probably read all of that at some point. If you're part of that server. So, there's a whole bunch of techs in vanilla that use utility science and don't use purple science. And the way that vanilla is balanced, yeah, the bot tech thing. So the way that vanilla works is that you have purple science and you have yellow science. They're not technically like, you don't need purple to make yellow in vanilla. You can make yellow without having ever made purple in the vanilla game. But in Pyanodons, you need purple. Yes, it's production science, and yellow is utility science. So you need production science to get utility science in Pyanodons mods. So the progression in science techs, it's red, blue, it's red, green, blue, purple, yellow, white. You also need military, gray, science at green, right around green. It's like you need both to get to blue, and then purple, yellow, white. Vanilla, it's not like that. It's once you have chemical science, you can get purple, and purple, generally speaking, is a lot of optional techs. Usually, it's optional. And you have utility science with, quote, utility techs that are a little bit better to get. And of course, you need utility science to finish the game, and you need purple at some point to finish the game. But there is this phase of the game after you get blue science where you can either get purple or yellow, and it's just they're independent of each other. And there's techs associated with one or the other. And this is a problem in the Pi suite because all those techs that would otherwise be utility science, well, that's a really long time to wait to get access to those techs in Pyanodons, especially when you must get purple first. So, and you need like circuit 4s before you get utility science, basically. So, yeah, my thoughts were, well, maybe these techs should be purple science rather than yellow. It should just be rebalanced to be purple science for these techs that use just utility and not utility and production. So, I have made a mod for me for right now that changes all of those techs It's actually a really long list of the techs, by the way. It's, let's see, it's Worker Robot Speed, 3 and 4, Character Logistic Slots, 4 and 5, Character Logistic Trash Slots, 3 and 4, the Personal Fusion Reactor tech, the Personal Roboport Mark II tech, the Rocket Control Unit tech, the Military 4 tech, the Power Armor Mark II tech, Combat Robotics 3, Follower RoboCount 5 and 6, Laser Turret Speed 5, 6, and 7, Refined Flammables 4, 5, and 6, Stronger Explosives 4, 5, and 6, Energy Weapons Damage 5 and 6, Physical Projectile Damage 6, Weapon Shooting Speed 6, and Artillery. So, all of those vanilla techs are otherwise locked behind utility science with Pyanodon's mods, because that's how they are in vanilla now. They all, in vanilla, are utility science to get those upgrades. But you can also get utility science from blue science. Here you have to get utility science from purple science. And there's this big gap in time between that. So I have made a mod that makes them all purple. That being said, some of these techs probably could be utility and production techs. Some of these potentially could be both. Things like the terminal ones, like Laser Turret Speed 7, could probably be utility and production. Refined Flammable 6, Stronger Explosive 6, Energy Weapon Damage 6, could probably be both. Follower Robo Count 6 could be both. But, so, things like the Power Armor Mark II uses purple science ingredients to actually make the Power Armor Mark II. It's purple science ingredients, but it is a utility science tech. The Personal Roboport Mark II, again, purple science ingredients, utility science tech to unlock it. This is as opposed to the extreme vast majority of recipes in the game where you can access them before you actually can make the ingredients for them. The vast majority of stuff in Pyanodon's mods, you get the recipes before you can actually make the recipes. Generally speaking, it's oftentimes near enough a full tech level ahead of when you can actually make them. And it's like by the time you can even make the things, you're moving on to the next tech level. So these were inconsistencies I noticed that I think should be changed to purple. And then there's like rocket control units, which you can't even use those anyway until utility science. So I don't even know why in vanilla, well, or why one would make them even at purple. I guess just to have them for when you eventually do get access to rockets and A-bombs. Anyway, so I've changed all that, so it will now be available to research immediately. Like, I can now research most of that. Yeah, to get a buffer would be the only reason, but it's like, well, why? Like, well, why? Anyway. We are going to load up the actual game now. We have discussed these various things. I have several things to show that I did off screen. Pretty sure atomic bombs are still locked behind both utility and production science. So you need both utility and production. So either way, once you get rocket control units, or yeah, the rocket stuff, you can't actually use them until you have both yellow and purple. Any major updates? No. So let me load up you. Yes, I've done 10 saves since the last time we met. Oh joy. Oh bliss. By the way, the cat's been on my lap this entire time. I think you should know that. The cat has been on my lap this whole time. Alright. Changes that have been made. Lots and lots of changes have been made. So, first off, let's discuss what we worked on last time. Last time I did the improved Circuit 2s, the bot-based Circuit 2s. And they're moving, technically. They can move now. They can do the stuffs at this point. They can technically do the stuffs at this point. It's very slow right now. They're waiting on the various modules and stuff to get added so that they can really start working wonderfully. See, it's moving. It's operational. This took a ton of logistics work to actually get done. I have set up a fair bit. I have finished the production of the phosphoric acid up here. Phosphoric acid, phosphine, phosphorus acid, all of that good stuff is up here. Hope the kitty's doing as well as possible. And he had a cold. I think still has a bit of a cold. He's been losing his balance a bit lately. I think that's partly from like effects of being really sleepy. He's like really sleepy, tired. And when he like first wakes up, he's like out of it and starts to stagger a little bit. When he wakes up from being asleep, he like was falling off of my desk yesterday. That was interesting. He was sleepy kitty after being in my lap for an extended period of time last night. Anyway, so, and I set up another production for sulfur over here, so this is just more sulfur. I need like a lot more filtration media. I need a lot more filtration media. Like, that's starting to become one of the major bottlenecks in the whole system right now, is just the amount of filtration media I have available to me. So yeah, all this logistics work is done. All this, like, ammonia, acids, various things, niobium complex. I'm actually producing sufficient quantities of niobium now. That's another new thing. That's another brand new thing, actually. I have gotten salt down here to get some more niobium plates, but in particular, I've like upgraded to Mark II a number of buildings here, so we're able to really get a lot done. This is being limited, or is it? Is it just that? Oh, it's that I have more niobium complex than I am currently able to fully process. Ah, yeah, that would be why. I need more ammonia on this part of my base, but yeah. Bottlenecks are happening, and that's partly what we're going to work on today, is trying to track down and kill some bottlenecks. Otherwise, what else have I done? Let's see. Right in here, we have some additional phosphorus pentasulfide production being done through the sulfur method for these. Just because I noticed that I'm not really making sufficient amounts of pyrite to make sure that I get enough stuff. So I figured, you know what, let's do a mix of both, get them going faster, make sure that I have sufficient amounts of Aerofloat 15 to feed everything that needs Aerofloat 15, because that at one point was also a bottleneck. Also, making ferrochromium alloy through molten iron and chromium now. Basically filling these boxes full of ferrochromium alloy to make sure that I have plenty of that. What else? What else is there? Let's see. Producing the carbon aerogel. Now producing carbon aerogel because I am now using some of this crushed quartz that I have an infinite supply of, and am processing all the way up to the purified quartz, or whatever the heck this is actually called, up to this phase, and this gets used in the carbon aerogel directly. It is also used all the way over here to produce glass. So we've got glass going right here. It just needs some of the green stuff. Some of the green stuff that I apparently don't have enough of at this point. So, That was yet another bottleneck I noticed, was production of the glass. Need more glass. Also, yeah, sodium carbonate. Aren't they pretty? They're pretty. They're pretty. Mark III combustion turbines. Slowly but surely upgrading to the Mark III turbines here, and then we have the rest of the locations. Like, this is... by itself, this one thing is, like, enough, once built, to supply the total power consumption of the base. Just you know, one of these. I have 3. So once we get these upgraded to this, we will be swimming in the glorious power. Also, right here, a very important step to make sure that the helium was moving somewhat, because the phytoplankton requires G110. I decided, you know what? Let's just give it G110. Just do something dedicated and give it G110. It's not like it uses all that much anyway. So, yeah, G110 right there. Why is this not moving is the good question. Why are you not moving again? Why you know rich gas? Is it high purified in? Oh. Yeah, that would be a problem. Of course I would use the wrong thing for voiding. Of course I would use the wrong thing for voiding out there. So that just choked because the methanol was backed up on an output. So we can go and fix that. Otherwise, a few changes with the robots. I now have removed every single Mark I construction bot from the network. So all we have right now on construction bots, we have 2,750 Mark II construction bots. And I took out like an entire box full of the Mark I Logis. So that progress is being made. Also, the next tech, as you can see, we have production instead of utility now on worker robot speed 3. One of the reasons, of course, why it's awkward with utility science, because you need production and utility. You need production to get to utility. As soon as you get to utility, without this change, you go from level 2 worker robot speed all the way up to 5. You go from 2, you get 3, 4, and 5, all in a row as soon as you hit yellow science in Pyanodon's mods. So that was like, my mind went like, why? Surely you would want something at purple to even out that curve a bit. So I just made them purple. And also it's like, well, I would really like some additional logistic slots. Potentially even some logistic trash slots here. Like, I would really like to have character logistic slots plus 6 plus another 6. Like, I would love to have 2 extra rows before having the final row at the end. Like, 2 extra rows, that helps a lot. I think I went way too far from where I need to go to do this fix. Wow, really? Using all of the acetic. Interesting. Yet another bottleneck to fix. What is blocking my acetic? Probably the methanol production. I can route some additional methanol production in. Going down. So yeah, I've been trying to think of just what's next, really. What even is next for us? Like, a lot of this is just scaling what we already have. There's lots of components to make for Mark III equipment, Mark III buildings, slash also leading into the circuit 4s and utility science and all of that good stuff. But it's like, well, gosh, they haven't given me these yet? Wherefore art thou? My bots, bring me sinkholes. I need sinkholes. Or do I have any tailings? I do have tailings ponds on me. Let's use this. I don't know if it will... Will it vent? Question of the day. Will it vent? The answer is... yes? No. I mean, I saw it, like, drop by 1, but yeah, it's not really venting, but at least it gives it some time for the robots to get over here. Like, please deliver the thing so that I can, like, vent from here, I guess. There are some things. At least there used to be some things. Like the petroleum gas that would vent in a tailings pond, but not burn on a burner. I think that has now been fixed. Hey, there we go. There's the delivery. Auto-saving. There we go. Goodbye, tiny, insignificant amounts of methanol. And get moving. Yes, it's moving. It's moving! Yay. Go, do the things. You are limited by vanadium, even though I have totally added. Oh yeah, this is new. I could use, you know, power. on all these things. I've increased the uranium a little bit. I probably don't have the gold to feed all of it, but anyway. So I have 2 vanadium particle accelerators right now. That could be what we do today. Shall we figure out just what the hell to do on the actual processing of vanadium? Shall I start producing the Ziphos? Oh, however the heck you pronounce this. Yeah, the Ziphos. I'm assuming they're hippos. Oh yeah. Potential plans and schemes inbound. Not doing anything with this yet, but it's here. It's here just in case we need it. I have barrels now. Just in case we may want to not use pipes at some point. Let's see. Also, yeah, because I've gotten more circuit 2s and have been working on improving bottlenecks, I now actually have some non-zero amounts of assembly machine 3s available to me. So that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. Make these. I'm pretty sure I'm not currently making these. We shall see what the heck these guys actually look like. Give me this. Do that. No, that's not too bad. That's definitely a blue science level of stuff. Requires Relesia plantations. Good thing I have like all of the Relesia plantations on the planet. Stack size is 10, I'm assuming? Yes. Vanadium via the non-particle accelerator way is very slow. Yes, but how does it compare in terms of energy efficiency? That is the question of the day. Oh, and I know there's lots of... I know that there's lots of loops on vanadium, but it's ideal just to see like where like issues are. Like I want to at least build it because I think very few people actually build out vanadium and understand exactly why we prefer the particle accelerator recipes. Yeah, lots of secondary inputs as well. That's the other thing. But you may have noticed that I have tentatively placed some aluminium over here. This will eventually become my high-grade aluminium processing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the aluminium processing that actually outputs as a byproduct vanadites. There is a point in the high-grade chain in aluminium that outputs vanadites, if I'm not mistaken. There was... Yeah, right here. Like, how do I know this? Yeah. Oh, hey, it's activated carbon. Uranium chain will also have something that goes into it. Yeah, it's not in the form of vanadites, but, let's see. Oh, gosh. I see nichrome when I see oleochemicals. Oh, gosh. Ammonia as well. Iron or dust. Well, okay then. Blue liquor, tailings dust. Okay, that means, yeah, it eats tons of iron and tailings dust. thing is, the tailings dust is simple enough. I've been meaning to do this transition anyway, to do tar out of stone, out of iron, I guess, iron sticks. So that'll be a thing, and that'll give me plenty of the tailings dust, lots of the tailings dust, if I do that in that method. The Vanna bins comes from the Ziffo blood. Sulfuric acid, oh joy. More tailings dust, okay. So Ziffo pools will need tailings dust, pressured water, which is water in a pressure pump, and then the phytoplankton, which is G110. Glorious G110. Fortunately, I have lots of the phytoplankton farms. Are you moving yet? Oh, you need circuits. Let's give it circuits. Let's give it some circuits. Right down here, I should have a few. Just, you know, a few. Sufficient amounts of circuit 2s. Somewhat sufficient. Where did I do the thingy again? There. Doink. Give me these guys. I'll walk over here. Pick up those. How many of these am I going to need? Probably like all of them in the planet. Probably going to need like 5 bajillion of them. Shall we call it the metric F-ton? Yeah, that's probably how many buildings I'm going to need to do an actual vanadium build live. Literal metric F-tons of things. 20 to 30 to 1? Yeah, figures. Figures! So, you. Hi. Thank God that these use productivity. I'm going to make the assumption that literally everything along the way that does not use a washer or a filter will use productivity in this vanadium chain. And I'm going to make that assumption. That everything except anything done in washers or filters will be able to take productivity modules. Since this takes productivity, I can make that assumption that everything else should take productivity. And the exception of the filter and the washers is just because those buildings prevent the use of productivity modules. Just the building itself for the washer and the filter prevent productivity module use. Even if the recipe would otherwise allow it, there is a block placed on the actual buildings there. So, you make wastewater. Hey, it's another source of wastewater. Isn't that glorious? Another thing to dump and do absolutely nothing with. But 2.12 phytoplankton. These guys, yeah, you can do that. I guess it does matter how much G1 that you save, but it's so low to begin with. It's so low to begin with, I don't think that's worth it. 4? Yeah, that's like not an issue. That's like not significant. That's not significant on the G1. Now that's just feeding one of these thingies. What's the description on this again? Hold up. There isn't one. Why? Why no description? I want a description. Wastewater, feed botanical nurseries. I've got enough wood. Like, I've got plenty of wood. I've got, like, lots and lots and oh. I'm gonna shut up now. My brain processed what I was saying. It's like, nope, stop. Stop now. Don't go further. Probably best to do this, at least start this, where I've got my G1 tin, right? Wow, I actually did do this here on you guys. Interesting. Interesting decision that I'm slightly confused that I decided to make. We'll do this there. Sure. Doink. 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 Yeah, I know I had wanted to, like, tap into these kimberlite pipes and actually show a kimberlite chain as well. It's like, this is why we do particle accelerated kimberlite. Because it sucks to build. Or particle accelerated diamonds, because actually setting up diamonds is not nice. It is not nice at all. And I wanted to get everything that I could, within reason, from the, like, infinitely from nothing. So that's like the theme here. Also, excuse me, but you need that. Just like this needs that. Oh yeah, I'm also, like, making tons of blue belts now. Like, thank you so very much, my own handiwork, for getting rid of as many bottlenecks as I possibly could. I now have plenty of blue belts to actually use to build stuff. Those are moving. Place this here. Do I have pressure pumps? Oh, kitty. Kitty's moving. Kitty is moving. Oh yeah, I wanted to, like, do that too. I needed more rare earth. I needed more rare earth. I guess I'll hold on to the thingies for now. Pressure pumps. You. Bring me the pumps. Oh, I have the pumps. Good. Good. How much? One. One, and we're good. It got stolen. I'm building this way to make it a little bit easier to scale. Basically, this is just to make it easier to scale in future. Like, if I wanted to have additional stuff, I could do things like that. Like, I can have that type of a setup and just do a copy, paste, 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 and all that good stuff. Won't even need to have as many of these, because it seems that one of these can feed, like, nearly 3 or 4. It can definitely feed 3. You need one more on the 4th here. But otherwise, So, tailings dust. That is the last thing. And then this can move. Like, straight up, this can actually start moving as soon as I add tailings dust. And we'll have the Ziffo blood, whatever the heck those things are, even. Nautiloids? That's totally a picture of a nautilus. Alright. Sure. Sure thing. Let's, get stuff. Yes, let's get stuff. Very, very descriptive there. Let's get stuff. I need DDCs. Give me destructive distillation columns. All of them. Because that's going to be the building that will be used to make the tailings dust. Hello, Callie. Today has ended up becoming a Vanadium day, I think. I'm pretty sure today has become a day where I have decided that we are just going to start setting up Vanadium. I wanted to do potentially other things, potentially start working on the individual components of Mark III stuff, but no, it's now officially Vanadium Day. We're going to go through the actual chain setting up Vanadium. So, yeah. We're at a point where we need to get tailings dust, so we're getting tailings dust, which, tailings dust is made in the various processes. It is out of tailings. It is out of tailings. Can give a little bit of acid gas. It is out of tar, out of nextlet, and out of powdered tin. Now, am I shoving these into a chest? I need to actually check. Am I shoving them? I am. Hello. Interesting. What about here? What about here? No, you're getting demolished. Let's change that. It would be nice to actually make use of the byproduct tailings dust on the nextlet chains. So I will go ahead and do that for now, but we're going to be doing this recipe. This glorious recipe. Doesn't that look nice? I like this recipe, especially when you get these numbers right here. Yeah, that looks really nice. I need to do something with the coarse fraction, though. That can become more stone. Oh, that can become gravel and stone. Alright. Ingredient in tar, or I could make more tar. You know what? I like this. I like this. That's what we'll do with the coarse fraction. It's in a classy. Guaranteed outputs, not even that might change. Yeah, that looks decent. Like 2 into 1. Outputs 7.84. That's a decent enough offset, honestly. And then the other 6 can feed into other stuff that I have going on. Yeah, that's not too bad. I like that. I like that. And it, of course, it outputs, you know, over 300, like close to 400 tar as well to do whatever with. To do whatever with. I'm not actually doing it for the tar, actually. So, yeah, about that. I need to go up here. This is what I want. Hi. Do that. Store all of the tailings that you are producing. Or all of the tailings dust that you are producing. Apparently I have something that uses tailings dust right now, actually. Apparently something I'm doing already uses tailings dust. I am very tempted to... Ooh. Yeah, I want to do this, so I need some of these as well. I have them. Good. Thank goodness. So, here's the plan. Going forward. Here's our plan. So, we're going to take the tar that gets produced out of this, and we are going to do this recipe that will give us a whole bunch of tailings. That will give us a whole bunch of tailings, and then tailings dust. I think that was an evaporator recipe. Yeah, that was an evaporator recipe. So then we just do tailings dust in the evaporator after that. Now, does that... Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, we're onto something now. Oh, we are definitely onto something now. Yes, yes, we are definitely onto something. That's going to be a lot of evaporators. That is going to be a lot of evaporators. Yeah, just gonna point out that we need like 3 of these to do all the tar that gets produced out of here. How does this compare, by the way, if I were to do that other tar recipe out of this? How does that compare on the outputs? Just want to briefly look here. Kitty is rearranging himself again. That is like nothing. I'm pretty sure I get more than that by doing this and then converting the stone into the tar. Pretty sure that will give me more than 20. So that one's not worth it. Alright. So yeah, 3 of these, like infinity of these. 1167, oh boy. And then I have a whole bunch of saline and flue gas to work with, and a bit of 40% of that to deal with. 1176, huh? You know, just like casually 34 of these with single productivity modules. More processing, better yields. Yeah, that's... And hey, look at how many tailings dust that is. Like, that's primary source of tailings dust. Wow. Wow. Oh, I've got plenty of uses for saline. I've got plenty of uses for saline. I've got lots of ash already. The ash is just going to be vented. But definitely the tailings is real good. Real good, real good. And then the sulfuric acid that I'm going to get out of this acid gas is going to be even better. Like, that is not an insignificant amount of sulfuric acid that can produce out of that acid gas. And that's by converting all of the tar into saline and such. I don't have a /mods command. The list of mods is on my stream schedule page on my website. The link to the stream schedule page is below the video player in the About pane. It's at the bottom of the About pane below the video. Should be a link to the stream schedule page. We are almost there on that tech. Next tech is worker robot speed. That's for certain. So is that my plan now? 35 per second. I've got sand extractors here. Thing is, I'm gonna be needing these for these as well. 35 is the goal. $12. Okay. And then 1344 on the iron sticks. Ooh. This is a good time to use these. This is the perfect time to use these. Right here. 4 slots. Can use up to 4 of these modules. Yay. So, 19 point... or, no, not 19.2. 1344. Alright. Alright, 6. 6 of these. Ish, at about 6 per second of iron or plates in. That's decent. Consider we can also loop back the iron oxides into iron plates as well. So we can actually take the iron oxide that's coming out of this, make some iron plates out of it. It's not going to give us 6, but it's going to give us some to feed back into this to help perpetuate the system. The gravel can do what it wants, really. I don't particularly care about the gravel. It'll be heavy on the robots, though, to get rid of the gravel, but yeah. And then stone just feeds right back into here. Actually, you know... Oh, I hate this. So, yeah, 35 minus 9. Not 9, excuse me. 35 minus 7.84, and then this with these. It's really 27.16 I need here, so 9 or 10.08, which is just over 4, so 5. I do care about the gravel, it's just I don't care where the gravel goes. The gravel's going to definitely go to things like filtration media, like stone wool, like, you know, stone wool. Every one of these is the gravel recipe on the stone wool. So, you know, stone wool, it has a place to go. It just needs to go and can't be used here when I'm using the stone and the iron oxide here. So that's why I'm saying that it has to leave. It has to go somewhere. I have no use for this gravel in this setup for tailings dust. And you know, while I'm at it, that sulfuric acid recipe would process the however much with the stuff and things. That's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. So many evaps. So many evaps. Yes, bring all of them. Okay. Well, that's the plan, I suppose. As it supposes. Let me actually write this down so that I know what my plan is. So we've got... This is all just like one DDC of stone to tar, tailings, dust, coarse, fraction. Oh, and then I need to like add the actual tailings that this has as well, the whole 78 tailings. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. One classifier for coarse fraction. I need a thingy here that will take the iron oxides output to make iron plates. Does not use productivity anymore, by the way. We've got 9 sand extractors, 5 Mark III assembling machines, like greater than 40, like 43. Like 43 evaps. Let's just say if I had 400 here, this does not take... Oh god, that's... Okay. Okay. Sure. You know, just 30 chem plants as well. And, 3 quenching tower. And a bunch of burners and gas vents and sinkholes. And a way to deal with over 500 per second of saline water. AKA more evaporators, because that's going to actually be what I do with these. This saline is going to probably just go directly into salt production. Because I actually need more salt right now. You need an insane amount of salt, by the way, to complete the game. Do you know, actually complete the game? Lots of salt. Lots of salt. What was the... It was chem plants. May as well solve another issue that I'm having right now, here, while I'm here. Was it this building? Of course not. Oh, of course it's those. Alright. Hello, thingy. Oh, that's convenient. Too bad I can't really spare those right now. I'm totally gonna spare those right now. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I need more. Gas vent. Just do the thing. I've got plenty of stuff. Ooh, okay. I apparently need more limestone. That is easy enough. I will grab some of these. Bring me these, please. My glorious robots, please bring me those. Bring me some soil extractors. So much prep work for all of this just to get some tailings dust. All this work just for tailings dust. Let's see, where are these? But I've wanted to do this transition for quite some time. In actuality. Pretty sure I've got the iron plates. Output. We've totally got 119,000 plates currently on the logistics network. I apparently have a whole bunch of separated networks. Welcome back, Immortal Sniper. We're going to do the process. The process that you do. What is the process that you do? You know, the tar from stone. We're going to do tar from stone. We are going to do tar from stone. That is what we're going to do. You know what? Just don't request that. Just build that for me. We are going to do tar from stone, and I have come up with my own plan for tar from stone. Where did I leave all those buildings again? Here. We're going to do tar from stone, and then we're going to use the tar to get saline plus tailings to get tailings dust. Lots of tailings dust. And, you know, sulfuric acid from the extreme amounts of stuff we're going to get. But it does cost some iron. I need to make it very clear this does cost some amounts, non-zero amounts of iron. I'm going to need a few additional chem plants. Just a few. You made a 40,000 per second setup? Yeah, figured. Well, I've been meaning to do the thing for the tar as well as do the thing for the tailings dust anyway. Speaking of doing the thing for the tailings dust, like, I'm pretty sure that my current base actually produces enough excess amounts of tar to do this. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't actually need to make more tar so much as I should make better use of my tailings. Interesting. What do you do? Yeah, I think I need to just make a bit better use of what I'm currently making out of my tar. 30 iron into, yeah, a lot of tar. That's like over 4 pipes. Or about 4 pipes. Five pipes, really? Worth of tar out of 30 per second of iron. The issue is just, you know, making 30 per second of iron. Dedicated for that. Yeah, because I have, like, this here that's, like, overflowing saline, and what am I even doing with the, tar here? Oh, yeah, venting it. Sure, that is, like, an excellent idea. Let's not do that. My inventory is full. Gee, I wonder why. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Lots of blue belt stuff. I even have all the splitters now. Wow. Alright. That's really nice. Or you could start using barrels. Yeah, I could. I could start using barrels. So, in this area, I've gathered up in these power generation systems the tar that they produce. So, I can make use of the tar from, like, these power blocks that exist here, these 3 power blocks. They're producing a not insignificant amount of tar. So, I can actually make use of that, vent excess saline. Now, this saline here is actually being used to make soda ash regeneration solution. That is something I should have done a very long time ago. That ends up voiding excess saline, which is what I want. Okay. The tailings. Give me evaps. Evaporators. Give me tailings dust. That's a way. Like, that's a way. Place. Thank you. Using up a little bit of the tailings here. That's not a lot of tailings dust in the end. And then you. Making these with water. Give me water. One of these is 25. Yeah, that's good. Where's my sulfuric? Oh, hi. Hello, sulfuric line. How convenient that my main sulfuric line is right here. How convenient that it's right here. Hey, we're about to get a tech. Momentarily away from getting a tech. Apparently Pi is here, but not talking. Pi is in the chat. Scheming all of the nerfs that are about to happen to productivity recipes. The recipes that currently use productivity, but soon will probably not use productivity. That will be painful to lose the modules that exist in these once they no longer are able to take productivity modules. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're fine with people lurking. Lurking is great. Lurking is just fine. So, yeah, for now, that's like 2.51. Do I really need, like, infinite supplies of the tailings dust right now? Probably not. Probably don't need, like, infinite supplies of tailings dust when all I'm really building out right now is this. Hey, we are now making the 2.5 that feeds this. We are now making the 2.12 that feeds this. So, yeah. get, like, all the stuff. On the way. Glorious, glorious, glorious tailings dust. Yeah, you can never end up with more than what you put in. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, after all. Cannot destroy or create. You can't create more than what you start with, basically. So any types of loops that are like self-perpetuating loops shouldn't exist. Yeah, I realize that Vanadium, that this is just the one step in Vanadium, and that I do need more, but will scale as needed here for this. Where even was I building? Where was I again? Up here? Here. I mean, now that I have this little thing, it's like, well, I can just now start doing copy-paste. It's as simple now as copy-paste. Ta-da! Well, matter and energy are effectively the same thing after all, so you really can't end up with more matter either than what you start with. If you take as truth that you cannot end up with more energy than what you start with, you also therefore cannot end up with more matter than you start with. That's in a closed system. Anyway, it is now 11:30, which means it is time to take a brief break. I will have to move the kitty forcibly off of my lap. He's been here the entire time thus far. I will take about a 3-minute break, and we shall return to more glorious work towards Vanadium, I suppose, once we return momentarily. And I have returned. Welcome back from the break. Let us continue the glorious shenaniganry that shall be the Vanadium chain. Okay, there. Good. You know what? I'm not making something very important right now, and I should be making something very important. There's something incredibly important that I have not been making. I can't believe it. Why have I not been making these? Oh, boy. Yeah, so... substations. I've been able to make these for a very long time, and I haven't actually been making them. Like, from the moment I started making Super Steel, I've been able to make substations, and yeah. Why did I just do what I just did there? It's because I accidentally did a request on stone furnaces, and the robots were going to send stone furnaces to that thing unless I got rid of it. That's basically why. I just copied the thing into another chest, deleted this, and then copied back from there. So, yep. That's how you can deal with mistakes and sort of force robots to stop coming to a chest that you've either requested too much of something briefly or requested something that you don't need in that chest. just one way of doing it. I'm getting old? No, I'm getting used to not having them because it took so long to get to super steel. That's pretty much it. It's like I've just gotten used to not having them at this point because, I mean, realistically speaking, in vanilla you get access to substations blue science, and you can actually build them in blue science. And it's like they're actually valuable and useful to you. But these are just vanilla substations as well, so it's like they're an 18 by 18. Like, they're okay, I guess. What's the stack size? 50? Yeah, 50. We'll do one stack of those. There is no too large a buffer. Yeah, but when they use that much super steel all at once, it's a bit much. Definitely need to limit that. Definitely need to have some limit in place there. How are we looking here? Pretty good until I get the modules in. That's going to be the main issue here. In fact, what I may want to do is forcibly conscript the production, or forcibly make a whole bunch of productivity module 2s. But we already need a lot. Like right now, so I sort of block the tooltip, but my alerts are telling me that I need 2,000 level 1 efficiency modules. Actually 2.1k. I need over 600 level 1 speed modules. About 180, 190 some odd. No, over 200. Over 210. Okay, over 210 of the level 1 productivity modules, as well as over 300 of the level 2 productivity modules as things currently stand, and apparently 2 level 2 speed modules are in my alerts right now, as well as like 6 level 3 of the combustion turbines, as well as like 68 Tholen atmospheric extractors. Now that is because I didn't actually talk about this when looking at the new stuff that has happened between the streams, but I've also done a bit of scaling up on the organic solvent up here. I added 2 additional setups of the organic solvent over here. So we're producing a lot more organic solvent to keep the basically just to keep the methanol production going. Needed more organic solvent, especially since this organic solvent is what is also feeding the organic solvent requirements down in this mess that is the Circuit 2 stuff. So the Circuit 2 stuff, the stuff that requires organic solvent, which we're now moving, by the way. We have more optical fibers. I mean, it's not like we've got an entirely full chest of optical fiber right here. But this is being made on our network. Anyway, let's continue. Let us continue and start working our way through the actual vanadium chain. So we've made it to the Ziffo blood phase of things. I need to deal with this wastewater. Wastewater has been dealt with. The wastewater has officially been dealt with. You are slow. 1.5 hippo blood. What do you actually look like? Like, this is like what, coral? Ish type thing? Tentacle monster thing? I've got no clue. It's alien life, anyway. So this thing is producing, apparently, blood. A whole of 1.5 blood per second. You think it's a sponge. Eh. I'm sure if we asked Pi would just say that he doesn't even know himself. All we've got to go for us is a picture of a Nautilus on the building itself. All we've got is like a picture of a Nautilus in the back to be like, have any clue. And then we've got this little, like, starfish type thing over here, like incubating another seed colony of whatever the freaking hell this tentacle coral monster thing is. Tube stuff? I don't know. Something with tubes? It's a crustacean thing. Okay. Hello, Pyanodon. Welcome. It's a crustacean thing. Alright. So, from Zihifo. Hippo. I'm just gonna call it Hippo. Alright. It's hippo blood. Yes, lurking and nerfing as usual. Beating down all the productivity module shenaniganry, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. From here. Who in their right mind would ever use Ziffo blood to make organic solvent? Who in their right mind would ever do something like this? Like, yeah, let's spend tin and tailings dust to make organic solvent this way. I mean, I guess this early on, if you've really got a decent setup on your tailings dust, and you are willing to spend, it's a really small amount, actually, of the tin, of the G1 tin. I guess there might be an argument for it, but there's so much better way. Any crustacean in Pi alien life will make the blood. All right, that's good. So we're looking for vanabins next. That is the next step. Sulfuric acid in. By the way, is this thing gonna tick anytime soon? Like, come on. Come on. Give me, like, the last science pack to get the tech. Like, just give me the tech already. I want my worker robot speed. Alright, so this is done, actually, in quenching towers. Hey! How convenient that I actually have quenching towers. Hi. You use a lot. You use a lot. I sort of do want to hold on to productivity modules at the moment, so I'm going to get them. Yes, blood for the blood god. Lots of blood for the blood god. Ahem. Ahem. Where is it again? Da-dee-dee-da, where the hell are you? Where did I put you? Blood! Did somebody say blood for the blood god? Did somebody say blood for the blood god? We've got 974,900-ish units of blood. As well as full boxes of blood meal. You did... Huh? Alright, sure. So, yeah, the blood. 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 Yes, so much iron. It's blood. Blood needed for what? So blood is used pretty exclusively just to make blood meal, and at this point in time. So because I've got like a huge, I've got lots of Zapier rendering going on. I've got lots of Zapier rendering going on, but yeah, blood right now is only used in blood meal. Blood into blood meal. And there is a fertilizer recipe that uses blood. Fertilizer has 2 recipes for it. I'm making it the ammonium chloride way, but there's a blood way as well. They're both actually pretty decent recipes, to be completely honest, but I'm just preferring the ammonium chloride one. But otherwise, it's just really used in blood meal, and blood meal is only really used in the Kamalt's rations and the nylon. Of course, you do need a fair bit of nylon, but there is also an alternative recipe for nylon that I will never, ever, 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 ever use because it uses nichrome, and I am not going to use nichrome when I don't have to. And of course, there will be more uses for blood coming up in Pi Alien Life. So, hippo blood. I need sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid, huh? So you're saying I need some sulfuric acid. I'm gonna go here and run it over. Down and over. So we're gonna go doink, up, over, up. So let's go get some glorious, wonderful, beautiful sulfuric acid. I'm also going to need more sulfur as I quite literally walk on top of sulfur deposits. I am saying I need more sulfur for sulfuric acid. We are going to ignore the fact that I have plenty of locations where I can mine said sulfur, because we are not mining in this playthrough. At least not that. Yes, kitty? Hi? You wish to return to the lap? Yes, he's reaching over. He's here. There's the tail. The tail is here now. Hi. Welcome back to the lap. How about settling yourself down? Alright, let's get this brought up. Very tempted to have sulfuric acid be like one of the first things that I make into barrels that I start barreling, because sulfuric acid is one of those things that's like being made in a whole bunch of locations, and doing barreling offers an opportunity to use the excess from those various locations, pretty much. That's all that really does, is it allows usage of the excess. Because I can overflow valve in various locations that I'm making the sulfuric acid and overflow into barreling, and then have locations that just use the barrels. But anyway, here's this. Welcome, sulfuric acid. It's likely not going to be even remotely close to enough sulfuric acid. Give me that. Thank you. Let's see here. So this is Vanabins, if I'm not mistaken. This will be Vanabins. I will absolutely not be building to any sort of ratio whatsoever at the moment. I will be happy with a 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1 setup across the board. However many buildings we need for this, we're going to start with one of each and get something that is not equal to 0 through a non-particle accelerated way of making vanadium. That is the plan. So that we can say with absolute certainty, this is why we do particle accelerated vanadium. Oh hey, they brought me a thingy. I actually made a level 2 productivity module. I can't believe it. Anyways, that's like a lot of Vanabins. So from Vanabins, why not use Ore Eraser to remove the temptation of ores? Well, it's because some ores I will continue to need. Things like the phosphates, it's not feasible. It's just not feasible to do the non-mining method of the phosphates. And I am currently mining actually the aluminium. I have to set up my aluminium still. That's like one of the few things that's currently still being mined, as well as the niobium. The niobium is the other thing that's currently being mined up here. It's actually not making 15 per second in this niobium mining setup and processing setup. That needs additional both ammonia and HCl apparently, but anyway. Blue liquor is our next step in thickeners. Oh boy, thickeners. Ew. I think I've finally, like, learned what the icon is on the thickeners. About freaking time. Took me long enough, but I think I finally have learned the thickeners. It'll be interesting seeing what the Pi High Tech icons are going to change into. Yeah, you erase them manually, but I mean, I don't really care about, like, you see how many ore patches we've got. I'm not going to go around manually doing any erasing of things. Now, if it can manually erase all of a given type of ore in an area or on the whole map, then sure, but nah. Especially when right now I'm still technically doing some iron, minimal amounts of iron mining. Like, oh yeah, I've got 3 whole thingies mining iron right now that feeds my base, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing I did off screen. Was I reversed the lanes on the iron and the steel. So the iron and the steel have been reversed down the entirety of the vertical section of the bus. Not the horizontal section, but the vertical section of the bus. Which probably means that the Circuit 1 production is not doing so hot right now. But anyway, I digress a little bit there. Why are you not moving? Why you no move? Why you no drilling fluid? Why you no drilling fluid too? I've been, like, very annoyed at the drilling fluid too lately. It's like, why you no silver? Why you no silver for the ethylene glycol? Why you no silver for ethylene glycol? Like, please make silver. Please make silver. Please make boron to make silver. It's like, it's like, what's wrong? Please make silver. I'm working on that off screen, by the way. Lots of, like, the bottlenecks and such I will be taking care of off screen, primarily. Why did I come over here? Oh yeah, for these things, to give my bots a shorter travel distance to get to me. By the way, how are the bots looking? What's the, about 5k of the Logibots are currently working. Slowly increasing in count as the, bots get replaced. Oh, hey, finally. I now have belts that I'm probably not going to use at all. Although, so the Ultimate Belts mod. Just a brief mention about the Ultimate Belts mod. It's like the only thing of any value that I put onto these better belts is actually just the increased underground distance on the underground belts. This one has a maximum length of 35. This one has a maximum length of 30 versus 9. Hello, the gentleman's thoughts. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. I am going to take a tech that, if I didn't have a mod that is just my own, I wouldn't be able to take right now. So, just to reiterate, I have modded the game, and this may be coming to be part of Pyanodons soon, so that techs that otherwise would just be utility science packs here without the production purple science now use purple science. So things like these level 3 and 4 of worker robot speed would take until utility science to actually pick them up, and then it's like, well, you go from level 2 to level 3, 4, and then 5 once you hit utility science, because you must have purple science first in the Pi suite. Had a big discussion of this on the Pi community Discord, and it's like, well, I'm just changing this, so at least for myself for now. And then like the portable fusion reactor, hey, look, it's an item that is a purple science tech ingredients item that was normally only unlocked at utility science, because that's how it is in vanilla right now. Similarly with the personal RoboPort Mark II. Now, I use nanobots, so I don't really use the personal RoboPorts, but again, purple science ingredients, but otherwise a utility science tech to unlock it, which is counter to the majority of things in the Pyanodons mod suite, which unlock before you can make them. Inconsistent with the rest of the mod pack in that way. And that's just because this mod pack is, like, quite old, and those changes were made with 0.17, with the release, like, the first version of 0.17 updated those sets of text to use productivity, or to use utility and not productivity, and other texts to use productivity and not utility, because base vanilla, you don't need the purple production, excuse me, I keep saying productivity, it's production, science, techs versus the utility science. That you don't need purple to get yellow, and you don't need yellow to get purple in vanilla, but here, purple will always come first. So there's a huge gap in time between getting blue and getting yellow, because you need to get purple first, as well as Circuit 3s and Circuit 4s. So, yeah, about that. It makes more sense to have these techs available at purple. Maybe not all of the techs, such as here. One of these. like laser turret shooting speed. This one, getting level 5 and 6 at purple probably makes sense, but getting level 7, this should probably just be both utility and productivity, give something to unlock at the end for getting utility, but that just comes down to balance choices. Strictly speaking, if you just switch over everything that was just utility to be purple, like I have done, that sense of balance may be a little bit off, but I think overall it's just flat out better than having to wait till utility science to do all of those things. Where even am I going, and what am I doing? These are questions I need to have answered. Yes, lurk, lurk, lurk. So, let's continue, shall we, as we approach the final hour of the stream. Yeah, those are just sub-emotes for other channels. For reference, if you are subbed to a channel, you can use the emotes on of that channel anywhere on Twitch, not just that one channel. So if you are, for example, subbed to me, you would get access to my non-zero emote across Twitch. So anytime you feel the need to use the not zero emote, you can, if you are subbed to me. Please sub to me. I have one sub at the moment, because 2 people have not currently renewed. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, gentlemen's thoughts. Water. Need water. Why does this have to, like, be like this? Like, why does this need to exist like this? That's slightly annoying. Because now I have to do, like, something along these lines if I need to, if I want to scale this anymore. And then tailings dust, of course. Because of course, tailings dust. Copy paste. Give me the tailings dust. All of it. All of the tailings dust. You take in stuff and make stuff. Blue liquor. Blue liquor. That's gonna be a thing. So this stuff makes 2 things. 2 things. Makes 2 things. So I want to make sure that I'm on the right track. So that whole line will lead into organic vanidates and vanadium solution, or you can do liquor into solution. I'm going to assume that it will be better to go down the line that leads to the organic vanidates. I'm going to assume that that is the line. And then the vanadium solution will give you concentrate that gives you the organic vanidates. So the loop here is that vanadium solution will give you organic vanidates. Like, this is just additive. It's not like any complex thing. It just adds more to your organic vanidates over time. You just loop it. So you shouldn't try to get the vanadium solution out of the blue liquor. You're gonna want to go down the pulp route, because the pulp route will ideally give you additional vanidates that you can use to make the organic vanidates, and then from the solution that you get here, this will loop back through vanadium concentrate, which is actually going to give you used solvent, that you can use to get more blue liquor. More blue liquor and organic solvent again, which this organic solvent will then again get used at some point in this process, I'm assuming. Something somewhere should use organic solvent, maybe. But anyway, so we're going to do this. Agitators, and agitators, and agitators, and pressure pumps, and filters. Alright, so that cannot use productivity, but I'm assuming everything else does use productivity. So that's a thing. And that would be a better way to, like, make organic solvent if it's not further used in this. So we need to get lots and lots and lots of these. Lots and lots and lots and lots of these. Perfect loop if you remember well. Is it still a perfect loop if you're using productivity modules? Or do you net extra organic solvent? Pretty sure you would net extra organic solvent if you can use the productivity modules in those setups. But anyway, let's continue here. Let's get the agitators that we so desperately desire. They are over here, being built over here. Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, I'm really looking forward to what those new icons are going to look like on the the Mark 1 through 4 variants on the Pi High Tech buildings that King Arthur is apparently working on right now. Yeah, these. I. You. Mine. Buy. Off we go. I've already got the, at least I should already have the pressure pumps, so that's fine. Let's continue right along. So this will need ammonia and other outside inputs for this, which I'm currently a little bit lacking on the ammonia side of things, I think. I'm going to need a lot more ammonia. I'm apparently going to need more petroleum gas at some point, but looks like I'm feeding enough to feed my wonderful supplies of what? Oh, it's probably, yeah, severe lack of filtration media. You know what sucks? Here's what sucks. High-grade zinc. High-grade zinc, right? Requires filtration media. Filtration media requires zinc chloride. So what happens if your sole source of zinc relies on filtration media, and you run out of filtration media through other processes? Yeah, you end up with a massive problem of a positive feedback loop that you have to try to kill. Basically, you have to overcome the effect of a positive feedback loop, reducing the amount of zinc that you have overall, because you just end up with less zinc for less filtration media over time, and your base just slowly dies from lack of filtration media. Fortunately, this is not my only supply of zinc right now. I have another supply of zinc coming in through traditional mining of zinc over here. So my normal mining of the zinc. This is another reason why it's like, well, we're sort of hybrid right now. We're building out the methods to not do mining, but we are occasionally doing mining. Oh look, it's my Mark III stuff. Where even am I going? I need to go up. Up over here. Tuh, you end up in a Chernobyl situation. Yeah, positive feedback loops. The power of the positive feedback loop. Yeah. So, it's you plus steam. Pretty sure I'm making less than 20 blue liquor once I give this thing power. Like, pretty sure we're less than 20. So, that actually is a single boiler. $60 steam is one boiler, excuse me. Give me some coke. Right here, give me some of that stuff, and we're good. Except that it, of course, needs a water supply. Excuse me. It feels so nice to actually have a sufficient quantity of blue belts now. Like, I just want to make that clear. Like, I've got a grand of blue belts in my inventory, and then close to another 3 grand just sitting in my storage, logistic storage right now. So, lots of blue belt. And then plenty of the loaders, of course, plenty of the underground belts, and slowly accruing the express splitters, which these guys use higher circuits. That's why they're sort of not great. That. It was 2 water, right? Oh, right. Iron ore dust to get to 2. That should actually just be on the network. Yeah, that's on the network. The iron ore dust. In fact, iron ore dust is a byproduct of what? High-grade lead? Tin. High-grade tin. When you get access to doing high-grade tin at utility science, has iron ore dust as a byproduct. Just bear that in mind. Bearing all that in mind. I know it was some ore processing. It's like iron ore dust is a byproduct at high grade. Next. Wow, this goes all the way up to 5. But you can't do the last 2 until later. And then precipitate? Wow. Alright, sure. And then you're getting vanadium oxide out of each of these steps. Ooh, sodium chlorate. That's gonna be a thing. That can be a bit of a pain. Even more ammonia. Alright. So here's ammonia. Here is the time that we need ammonia. I'll do it this way. And then I should actually have an ammonia line somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, I have ammonia here. And I'll bring that over from there. We will go this way. Let's go get some ammonia. Walking over these, this sulfur. That salt was another reason to go particle acceleration. So there's salt also involved here. Well, the thing about the salt, though, the reason why I want to do this is because it forces me to do that tailings dust recipe. Well, it forces me to do the tar recipe for tailings dust from stone. Stone into tar plus tailings dust plus coarse fraction. And that will give me tar to make a lot more salt out of the saline water. Because the tar recipe into saline water gives tailings as well, and you can actually get a lot more tailings dust out of the tailings produced in that method than just the tailings into, or just the tar recipe making tailings dust. So the stone into tar is one part of it that gives tailings dust, but you get a lot more out of the tar to saline plus tailings step of it. So so what I'm basically saying is, regardless of how you get your tar, I mean, I could do the tar through the mushrooms into tar method. I could just do mushrooms into tar. Cough, cough, wheeze, wheeze, tar, 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 tar. You know, yeah, hi, hi. What am I doing to the tailings here? What am I doing to the tailings here? Right. This is all being vented right now. I could instead take the tailings from this and make tailings dust out of it. And then I can use the extra saline to make, because I do have extra saline out of this right now, to make more salt, pretty much. So, even though we went through that whole exercise of going over all of the, that other method through the stone of getting tar, it's just, well, do I really need more tar in my base at the moment, or should I just make better use of the tar that I'm already making, or better use of the tailings that I'm venting right now? So that's just an example where you can just make better use of the tailings than venting it in that circumstance, in that one circumstance. And it'll give up a lot of tailings dust. I'm saying it's in that one circumstance, not saying that across the board, that the tailings there were never a problem, and that was the idea, is that the tailings would never be a problem. Oh. You know, it would help if I did that. It would help if I actually put the pipe there so that this can actually start working. Oh hey, I have another, my robots have brought me another productivity module. Like, what step is this important? Probably the ammonia. Probably the ammonia step here is pretty important. Alright, so with Pulp 3... Why do you not call this Vanadium Pulp 3? It's the Pulp 3. Alright, the Pulp 3. Then it's pressured. in pressure pump. All right, well, that's straight up just pressure pump. 1 to 1. All right, that's fair. Pressured V-pulp. At least that makes sense on its name. Into validates in filters. I have a filter. I guess I'll do this here. I shouldn't do it there. I really shouldn't. I should plan on scaling up. So we'll do it here. Validates. From that and that. Well, we're gonna have to just say good luck, pretty much, on the production of that. Here. Yeah, that works. And then there, and that, and that. Request all of it, like more. Oh, I apparently have activated carbon. Who knew? I have 9 grand activated carbon, and yet I don't have filtration media? Sufficient amounts of filtration media? Like, I know I've... Maybe just time has healed all wounds, but... Like... My stuff here has been blocked by rayon. And then the rayon's been blocked by the production of the sodium carbonate, and the production of the sodium carbonate has been blocked by the lack of sulfuric acid, because this setup for sulfuric acid has been missing the filtration media. It's been missing the filtration media. I probably just need to request more filtration media on these to take into account the flight times, but anyway. Yeah, putting the productivity in the last step means you need less of everything before it. Yeah, it improves that way, but all of it at some point is going to have productivity. Like, every step is going to have productivity. You can't do it in a filter. You can't put productivity in a filter or in a washer, but every single one of these other steps is going to use productivity. So that gives us vanidates. The high-grade aluminium chain. Very much looking forward to doing the high-grade aluminium chain, because it dodges this whole setup. It dodges all of this to get straight into vanidates. Like, really? Really? And then it's organic vanidates, which is, oh god, oleochemicals. But this also needs vanadium concentrate. Now, where are we getting that? So this also needs the vanadium concentrate. So this is where things get a little bit more more complex. This is gonna get more complex because, yes, oleo, your favorite, because right now it's only made with nichrome. Could you, like, change that to tin chromium alloy, please? Like, give us, like, that. Tin chromium alloy is not used as much as most other things. Why does it have to be nichrome? Like, god. There's so many other really important things that use nichrome, and oleochemicals only has one way, and it only uses nichrome. It's like, oh god. And then there's that tin chromium alloy, which is only used as a catalyst in a whole bunch of recipes that you don't really want to use. Like, tin chromium alloy is otherwise not required to finish the game, to finish making everything. Well, what I'm saying is, why not put tin chromium alloy in a recipe that is actually required to finish the game, such as oleochemicals? That way, everyone must make tin chromium alloy and use it, right? If you want folks to use it, then you have to force them to, basically. So anyway, yeah, so this is required in organic vanadids. It requires vanadids, oleochemicals, and vanadium concentrate. And then the vanadium concentrate comes from vanadium solutions, so we must use some of our blue liquor to kick off this process. That's what I'm gathering of this from this. Is we need an initial supply of vanadium solution at minimum from blue liquor. Probably this might just need more. Vanadium solution than what gets fed into the concentrate here. So, realistically speaking, we're going to use some of this blue liquor, put it behind a underflow valve on the vanadium solution to feed into the vanadium concentrate. So we need evaporators and we need mixers. So I'm pretty sure I have both of those right now. So an evaporator that will take the blue liquor and make that stuff. That's just straight one into the other, which is fine, which is actually fantastic. I very much like that. This will need an underflow valve. An underflowy, a literal underflowy. In the words of Catherine of Sky, this is a literal underflowy. I mean, so KOS refers to underground pipes as underflowy, but yeah, this is the literal underflowy. All right, see you later, Callie. We've got about half an hour left on the stream, so you're not missing too awfully much. Oh, goodness gracious. What, like, I need a spot. We're migrating. We're migrating. Let's just throw the whole concept of being able to copy and paste this or blueprint this out the window. Because I don't even know myself if I'm going to continue to use this for much of anything. So, yeah, about that. Hydrogen peroxide and industrial solvent and chromium. Oh, joy. This is gonna be fun. In the, like, quotation marks fun. Oh boy. And how much of this stuff? It's not a lot, but anyway, so hydrogen peroxide. Using it up here, right here, I've got a hydrogen peroxide line, so that's fine. Yeah, use it for the etching solution, so I've got that taken care of. Likely at the levels. It's the industrial solvent that needs to be brought over. That's going to be a bit of a mission because it's here. Because it's all the way up here. All the way up here. And also, apparently, up and away? Likely part of the Circuit 3 stuff. Complexity was the biggest nail in Vanadium, yeah. Well, what I'll likely do with Vanadium is, so of course I'm going to have to eventually make a tutorial on it. That's a given at this point. Eventually a tutorial will need to happen, so that means I'm going to have to build out something a bit better that looks a lot nicer on my tutorial save. And that will probably be what I use as like a copy-paste type setup, like the blueprint setup. So that's when I'll like have a blueprintable version of, we're at 4 gigawatts by the way, of the stuff and things. Vanadium oxide stuff. With the general, you know, caveat, hey, this is rather expensive in terms of outside inputs. Really slow, really big. Maybe do particle acceleration instead. That might be a better idea for you. So, organic solvent. Oh yeah, this is another alloy, I think, that is a little bit underused. The niobium titanium alloy. This one also seems a little bit underutilized. Tutorial, use particle acceleration. Yeah, that's not going to be how I present it. I will present it as is, the actual intended method of making the stuff. And then say, don't do it. That's pretty much what I'm going to say with the, Alright, where's my character standing? Right now? Here. I need to get down here. I think the path is free. Yeah, I can go down from here. So there's other processes like raw coal. Like I need to figure out what I want to do with like a raw coal video at some point. Raw coal processing. A process that like no one does at all. As well as like the where is it? Wherefore art thou again? This stuff, the oil sands. Like, the oil sands processing needs its own tutorial, but again, who really ultimately uses oil sands? Maybe me, but not right now. Not this save. Like, I think that's the response, is just not this save. I'm not doing any of that in this particular save. Of course I would. Of course I would do that. Of course I would align it in that way. Alright, so you do the shale oil thing. Well, I the whole point of this save right now is to avoid mining via, or just, it's avoid producing things non-renewably, like, as much as possible. That's, like, the point here. Yes, it did get a nice buff recently. I know it's been getting buffs on the shale oil stuff. So it's better, but it's still not... Well, yes, bitumen. But bitumen comes from the processing of the shale. Or of the oil sands. That's what I keep needing to say. Oil sands. My mind conflates the two all the time. Don't mind me. Both are a royal pain to mine, but... I'm speaking real life, by the way. I'm speaking real life now. These are things that exist in real life, but have only relatively recently, in recent years, become like economically viable to an extent, to a greater extent, and just the mere fact that you can now really do oil sand and oil shale mining is has definitely offset some of the fears of, quote, running out of oil anytime soon. Then again, the whole concept of the Earth, quote, running out of natural resources is sort of bogus. It's not that we'll ever, quote, run out of the resources. It's that other methods will become available that will be more economically viable over time. It'll get more expensive to extract that resource, those non-renewable resources, and alternatives will become better and the market will shift to the point where we will no longer use what we have as much until it goes down to zero. That's what is more likely, like, the way that it's going to happen. That's how things are going to transition. We'll never actually use all of it, all of the non-renewable stuff, and have nothing left, but we will shift away from using it well before then, just because there will arrive a point at which the economics shift from one to the other. And that's arguably that is happening right now, actually. Like, right now, we are shifting. And the cost of renewables is starting to become lower than the cost associated with mining of non-renewables and processing of non-renewables. So that's why there's this big push now in the renewable energy market, is because it's just becoming economically more viable than the non-renewables. And as that gap starts to widen and widen, eventually all of the non-renewable stuff will be thrown by the wayside as, like, archaic technologies that just won't be used anymore because they will no longer be viable. Alright, so now we've ended up with concentrate as well as used solvent. Aha! This is that loop. Okay. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this used solvent, and this is going to feed back the blue liquor. Yeah, this is going to feed back the blue liquor. So we take the fluid salt separator. I am not carrying any on me, so now we're going to get the fluid separator to convert that used solvent back into some blue liquor, and that's going to keep helping to feed the red stuff. It's gonna feed the red stuff going forward. See, I'm slowly wrapping my head around all of this vanadium chain. And frankly, thus far on this vanadium chain, it is not that bad. Thus far. Like, this, it's a bit more complex than what we've seen in some of the other processing chains, but it's not awful. Like, I can say that it's not awful. It's, like, not as bad as I think some people think, at least to this point. To this step, it's fine. But I think the key here is just knowing, right? It's just knowing it. Knowing what you're doing. I think that's a stopping point for a lot of people, is they just see these steps and they like probably can't connect how the steps are related to each other. That might be a thing. How things loop, they can't like visualize exactly how the process looks linearly and what loops can loop back. Alright, so we have our fluid separators. So let's go do this. But if you've gotten to this point where you are thinking of setting up a vanadium chain, chances are you've probably learned how to visualize things by now. Because there's also that aspect of it, is because you've done this so many times up to this point, visualized a relatively complex chain to sort out what you need to do for it, such as, you know, cough this helium right here going into super alloy. One example, another example being literally every ore processing chain up to this point. If you've done even one high-grade chain prior to this, it's like, well, I'm pretty sure if you can successfully set up a high-grade chain, you can probably set up vanadium. You're probably good on setting up vanadium. Just gonna throw that out there as a probability. You are a 2-to-1. Interesting. You are a 2-to-1. Huh. What the hell am I going to use this organic solvent for? I have no idea. I don't need it. It's going to be pitfalled. I may or may not regret this decision in the future, but that's what we're doing now. And then this blue stuff, it's gonna go, well, it could go up and just meet with the rest of the thingy, but it may be a much better yeah, it'll be better to have it feed in like that. Preferentially use it here from these. Yes, you need it, but I'm also making infinite amounts of it, so why bother? It reduces the strain on the acetone solvent. You mean the acetone solvent that I'm making up here, the infinite supplies of acetone solvent. All it needs is power. Like, I don't care. Not there. Not that specific thing. I don't care. Acetone solvent. That's how I make organic solvent. I don't consider this expensive in any way, shape, or form. I don't. This is just a 2x2 tile plus mushrooms to feed it. Like two 2x2s each one. I have several. I have several. I have. Let's see. I have this 1, 2, 3, as well as, you know, somewhere around here, a fourth over here, like a fifth right here. I think I've got another one over on that other side as well, somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I have at least 5 now of these setups of organic solvent. I've already brought my industrial solvent out here. Industrial solvent is here. It has arrived. I've done that now. So we are producing the stuff and things. Vanadium concentrate. Okay. Organic vanadate. Oh, oleo. That is not the one. Organic vanadates. Will give us red stuff. Of course it does. As well as needs both of these. Aye. Let's do it. I need an extra space. Yeah, I needed that extra space because of that thing there. Doink? No. Sadly, you need to move down 1. Okay, there we go. We got that down. I just need to get the vanadates from... I want to do it here, but... fine, I'll do it. I'll do it here. I will set up something nicer when I do the tutorial. It will look nicer later, folks. Now, 26 2/3, that's not even going to be remotely a lot. FTS for oleochemicals. Wasn't Pyanodon complaining one time about people not using FTS reactors for some reason? It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure you need FTS reactors for oleochemicals and grease. At minimum, maybe even gasoline at earliest. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I've started making these things called light oil refineries. Here. So I've sort of started building light oil refineries. I was looking at the recipes and I was like, maybe. I don't really care for those recipes very much, but maybe. 26 and 13. Alright, that's that. Yeah, that's fine. What recipes was blah 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 blah. Recipes was I considering as like maybes on for that? Basically the recipes that use the aromatics into petroleum, pretty much, or light oil. Like aromatics, and I think it's chrome. I think it's chrome. Chromium. It's like really small amounts of chromium. Chromium is like infinite, so the recipes in the light oil processing thingy building, yeah, just making light oil and making petroleum out of hydrogen and aromatics and chromium. Those would be the types of recipes that I would use those buildings for on a relatively consistent basis. That would be it, granted. That would be, like, the only things that I would actually probably want to use those recipes for. Diesel has an interesting recipe. Yeah, diesel. Also, aromatics, hydrogen, chromium. I like this diesel recipe. By comparison to the other recipes for diesel, I like this recipe to dodge Nextlit use. As simple as it is to make olefins from organics, technically also to make methanol and CO2 from organics, Nextlit is technically a bit harder to get than chromium. So chromium, I like this recipe on the diesel. I absolutely like this recipe on the diesel. Speaking of which, the aromatics is used as well in... yeah, so there's a reformer recipe, actually, that gives you petroleum gas out of aromatics and hydrogen, and then the light oil one lets you add chromium, shifts it more towards aromatics to give you more petroleum as well. And then I thought there was a light oil. I guess I'm wrong on that, but definitely the diesel is very, very, very nice. The diesel one is very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Just add water now. Water everywhere. And once this eventually gets nichrome, once it eventually gets nichrome, we'll have oleochemicals that'll feed into this, and we'll get organic vanadites as well as the vanadium solution. The red stuff. As well as the red stuff. That gets used in various things. Yeah. The red stuff. And things. Please be decent. Alright. That works. It works. Do that. Yeah. Alright. Organic vanadites. Moving on. Organic vanadites. You are used to make pregnant divanadium pentoxide acid solution. Divanadium pentoxide, I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. Missing pipe on output on red stuff? Yes. Right there. Thank you. So that is done in hydrocyclones. Hey, I actually have one. Oop, there it was. There we go. Hi. No, that's out of acid strip solution. That's not the process. Oh, that's out of both. So, how do you get this stuff? That's easy. Yeah, so that's out of both. Why do you have to be on the top? Okay, so now we have a acid strip solution. Now, if this is only used for this, oh god. Yet another, like, random thing that only gets used here. Alright, sure. Methanol, sulfuric acid, and water. Pretty sure I have methanol somewhere nearby. Methanol and the sulfuric line is here. Methanol. Wherefore art thou? Actually. Like, actually, I know I have the methanol around here. In fact, I know. Pff, hi! Hello, methanol. There's some methanol right here! Right here! There's some methanol, but that's not the methanol I'm referring to. I am referring to this methanol. This methanol that is apparently being overproduced by so much we're venting excess. Oh joy. So where does this pipe go? To here, apparently. Hello, methanol, methanol, methanol. Further down it goes, the better, by the way. And then you go in there. So right here, we are way down to the south. Oh boy. Alright, so we get to go from here down, over, down, or something like that. But we only have like 3 minutes left in the stream today, so I think we're going to start wrapping up here, and I will actually spend the rest of the time today looking where we go from here. So that will go into Vanadium Pulp 4, this pregnant solution. It looks like there's a vanadium mixture that's going to happen at some point. Oh, uranium process. There's the uranium. Immortal was talking about how there's, from vanadium you'll end up, or from uranium processing, that there's going to be an input into the vanadium chain. Well, here it is. It's actually right towards the end of the vanadium processing chain. Because from the pregnant solution, we go into the stuff that actually starts giving you vanadium. Through the agitator, and then the agitator again, and the agitator again, and then the evaporator. So, agitator, 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 evaporator. 4, 5, precipitate, vanadium oxide. Doink, 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 doink. Like, holy hell, is that it? What's this made in? A methanol reactor? Oh, of course I don't have methanol reactors on me. Like, seriously? Methanol reactors. Bring me methanol reactors. That's like it, folks. You need the ammonia, the steam, and then deal with the tailings. And yeah, like that's that. And what about this is like difficult per se? Like this is just a linear thing. Like this is linear right here. So let's like briefly discuss. So what is difficult, quote unquote, about vanadium chain? Where is the difficulty in the vanadium chain? Well, it is this part right here. This part right here with our red stuff. Our vanadium solution. That is the trickiest part here. Otherwise, it's like just linear. So, oh hey, we got worker robot speed 3. Give me 4, please. Give me 4. So now my robots are a little bit faster. Yay! I need slightly less robots. Oh yeah, that's noticeably faster, actually. That is noticeably faster. That is so much better. Alright. So it comes down to the vanadium solution. And just when you're setting this up, you take your blue liquor underflow valve to make some vanadium solution out of it, as well as making your vanadium pulp 1. Shove that in to produce the vanadium concentrate that you need to use to make the organic vanadits, and then the product made here, your vanadits, will go in to make your organic vanadits. So it's vanadits plus or concentrate plus oleochemicals will equal more solution as well as some organic vanadits. And then this more solution just loops back in as vanadium concentrate with a little bit extra coming up out of here. With just a little bit extra coming up out of here because there is another loop from your used solvent. So this produces used solvent. This makes another loop, giving you organic solvent, or giving you the blue liquor to feed into more vanadium solution. So we've got like a double loop here on the vanadium solution. But is that really that difficult to wrap your head around? If you're trying to build it at a perfect ratio, maybe that's a bit of math there that you would have to do to try and figure out proper ratios of things. But if you're just building it like this, like one building ish each, it's not that difficult. And you can see just how linear this ends up being going forward. So then it's just like steam, okay, and then a bit more ammonia. We already have that. This acid solution, well, that's just going to be... why did you do this? I swear Pyanodon does this with this building just to be highly annoying. Just to be highly annoying. But yeah. Anyway, so methanol and sulfuric acid in with water, and you're done. And that's the acid strip solution. It feeds the thing. Feed this sodium chlorate when you have it on your network. I don't have it on my network currently, but I know I'm making it. This stuff is salt plus steam. Sodium chlorate is salt plus steam. It takes twice the amount of salt as the amount of stuff used, so that's a lot of sodium chlorate. Just gonna throw that out there. That's a lot of salt used there. Steam, it's fine. Ammonia, fine. Really low amounts, and then just vanadium. Vanadium being produced in all of these steps here. Even this one. That is the wrong thingy. There we go. And then, yeah, so 4 steps that give you some amounts of vanadium until the end. Congratulations, I guess? That's like the chain for vanadium. As I said, I don't think this is hard. It's just, yeah, some of the outside inputs are high-ish volume. That's like the main thing here, but otherwise, it's not as bad as at first appears. So that will be it for our stream today, folks. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. Be sure to join my Discord server by hitting !Discord in the chat so that you can have a say going forward. In a couple of weeks from now, when the Pokemon Sword and Shield release, I will absolutely be streaming those games. One of them, anyway. So I want some feedback as to which version and which starter. For that, I would also definitely be interested in your thoughts about the way in which we stream it. Basically, at this point in time, it will be preempting everything from the 17th onwards. But if I can fundraise about $100 between now and then, I will basically just add stream days until we beat those one of those games, one of those Pokemon games. So we won't have to preempt anything if I can, earn enough money to not have to preempt anything. Because, work. I work in the afternoon. If I don't work in the afternoon, I don't get money in the afternoon. So just simple economics there. But anyway, again, if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you're so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/Otaku to leave a follow to be notified when I go live. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter at Otaku Showboat. Visit my website at otakushowboat.com. Become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat. As well as join my Discord server. The link is in the description below the video. And if you are watching on Twitch, it is !Discord to get the link there. You can also help support Pyanodon's Mon's development at patreon.com/Pyanodon, and the tutorial that will be going live later on today is our Circuit 2 and Blue Science tutorial. And as a reminder, I will be taking about a week off from the tutorial series to wrap my head around what order we will be doing things going forward for the Pyanodon's tutorials. So enjoy this Circuit 2 tutorial for this coming week. And of course, I hope to see you all on our next stream.